Today in tech, we're talking about the September event for Apple. I'm sure a lot of you watching this saw that. They had literally 3 million concurrent viewers. That's insane. They announced iPhone 16, Watch Series 10, AirPods 4, and AirPods Max 2, I guess. I don't think they're even calling it 2. Because essentially, let's just get this out of the way first. I was kind of hyped for the next iteration of these because I love my current ones. Yeah, sure, they're a little dirty, they're a little dingy, but I've been using them pretty much since they came out. In fact, I think I got them on launch day. For them being 4 years old and, you know, using them several times a week, they're not that bad. A lot of people say the headband gets really disgusting after a while, and yeah, it is kind of disgusting, especially on camera. It doesn't look that bad in person, I promise. Anyway, I used past tense because I literally don't care at all about the AirPods Refresh. They're gonna have some like new colors. I guess what was a tiny bit tempting is that the lightning port will be USB-C, which is cool, but they literally didn't say anything else. I am going to assume obviously it's the same exact hardware, the same everything. You still have to use this, which is kind of annoying, but I've gotten used to it. I do think these headphones are a little too expensive, but they do actually sound really good. The thing that impresses me the most about the AirPod Maxes though is their transparency mode. It sounds like you're not wearing headphones at all. I mostly just use these for music, and typically I like to move around a bit while I'm listening to music, and having a cable is annoying. So in the wireless headphone space, I do think these are amongst the best. Some from Sony are cheaper and can definitely compete in the sound quality range, but also since I use other Apple devices, everything just is very seamless. There's never issues, never dropouts, nothing like that. So I kind of just pay for the convenience. If like I noticed my battery life was getting pretty bad on these, I probably would have picked up the Refresh just for the USB-C, but I'm gonna hold off on that and see what they're coming up with next. But now we can remove this. They also announced AirPods 4. These are AirPods 3, obviously. They haven't launched yet. Me and AirPods, we go way back, all the way to AirPods 1. It was actually the first Apple product I had ever purchased and is probably the main reason I am in the Apple ecosystem so deep now. As far as I could find, AirPods are the best wireless earphones for me because I hate the rubber tips and no one makes them without rubber tips. I did get the first version of AirPod Pros and I was like, maybe these are different. Maybe I will find these comfortable. And I tried to for months and it just wouldn't work. I tried all the different tips. I tried everything, dude. Me and rubber tips just do not get along, which is why this was kind of my only option. Regardless, I do love these a lot. They're very comfortable, to me at least. I have them in my ears pretty much the entire day. Sometimes I'm just not listening to anything and they're just like sitting there because it's like a good storage space. I did in fact pre-order the AirPods 4 because there are some really interesting design changes, and because I use these so damn much, probably to like a problematic level, the battery life has gotten noticeably worse, so I think it's probably due for an upgrade anyway. I bought the AirPods 3 on launch day. They're, I don't know, at least 2 years old by now, so I think fair enough. They lasted enough time. I don't know the inner workings of AirPods and if there is a way to make the battery replaceable in here. I feel like if there was, without like making the size much bigger, they would have done that already. I'm no engineer, but yeah, I mean, it is a shame, you know, you get 2 or 3 years out of these and then you basically have to throw them away. So yeah, it is partially because I want better battery life again, but also there are some interesting features on the tier up for like 50 or 60 euros more, I think, where they get active noise canceling, and way more importantly for me in particular, transparency mode. I really hope they do transparency mode even half as good as the AirPods Max, because like I said, I like to just leave these in my ear most of the time. And currently with AirPods 3, sounds are a little bit more muffled. It's a little harder to hear things because you do have something in your ear at the end of the day. So I'm really looking forward to that. The shape, I believe, is also a little different to accommodate more ear shapes. These already fit me very well, so I'm hoping the new shapes aren't worse for me. But also apparently the sound is getting upgraded in some way or another, because to be honest, I know I've praised these a lot already, but they don't sound that good to me. I use them for movies or TV shows or YouTube videos, podcasts, whatever. But honestly, even these guys, the wired ones, sound better to me than the wireless ones. And these are what, like 15, 20 bucks, I think? Which I know is a limitation with something this small and wireless, so I am interested to see what they can do in that department as well. I will probably have a comparison between these and the AirPods 4, just because it's something I'm personally quite interested in. When I actually do get them in my hands, I believe that will be September 23rd. Unfortunately, I get them 3 days later for some reason, but I digress. They also did announce Series 10 watches. My girlfriend and I are both rocking Series 7s still, and for me, I'm probably going to stick with the Series 7 for a generation or two longer, just because, honestly, I don't even wear it every day. The battery life, the size, the weight, all the things they're kind of improving, you know, upon Series 9, I guess. They're kind of whatever for me, not enough to buy a new one, especially for something I'm not that passionate about, honestly. There was one really interesting feature though, and that's like the sleep apnea feature. I'm not sure if I have it or not, but apparently they said there's like 1 billion people that have sleep apnea, so I would like not be surprised if I'm one of those. My girlfriend was watching the Apple event with me and hinted like, oh, well, you know, if you don't think about anything for Christmas, wink, wink. So I might get the Series 10 for her because she really does wear hers like every day. It's kind of just her watch now. So yeah, this one is not a hard yes or no for me currently. I don't think I'm going to pre-order it. Probably, we'll see. I might change my mind later though. And finally, the new iPhone 16. I am not tempted at all to upgrade, and that's because I literally just did with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Like, I came from the iPhone 12 Pro Max, so I'm probably not gonna upgrade until the iPhone 18 Pro Max. I'm not one of those people that upgrade every year. Most of the upgrades with the new iPhone, as far as I could tell, are very, very camera focused, which was kind of the main reason I got the iPhone 15 Pro Max in the first place, was because, you know, I'm a content creator. I do use a camera sometimes, and I was like, okay, cool. These days I have a quote unquote real camera, so all the camera upgrades and stuff aren't as compelling to me, and the iPhone 15 Pro Max still does shoot very nice video when I need something more portable than an actual camera. The ability to shoot 4K 120 FPS on the iPhone 16 would have also been a pretty big draw for me had I not had a camera that can do the same thing, though it still is very impressive. Like, that's the limit of what this camera can do. Also, new chip, it's faster. I don't think most people need all that power, to be honest. Like, I'm a mobile gamer. I have passions for stuff like that, but especially if you're coming from anything newer than like an iPhone 12, I wouldn't upgrade it for the power, maybe the battery. They also do have like a camera specific thing over here now on the new iPhone 16s. It's like a dedicated button for camera options, which I thought was kind of neat, but again, nothing I care too much about. And then there's Apple Intelligence, which is like Apple's AI thing. Everyone's getting into AI now. Apple jumps on it as well, of course. I personally am pro AI to a certain degree. I think when it helps people do things faster, it's fine. I'm not a huge fan of generative AI, like people typing in some words, a picture comes up and they throw it on some website and they said, I drew this. I hate that. I do not like how it's coming for the creative jobs, but stuff like ChatGPT, I think is kind of brilliant for a lot of things. Like when I have a very specific thing I'm trying to do in Premiere Pro, my editing software, I will tell it the very specific issue I'm having, and boom, like that, it tells me where to go in which menus to choose this or that, and that's nice. I used to Google these things and I would get completely irrelevant results because it was that specific, but ChatGPT knows like this context. So I am pro AI to a certain degree, but as far as I've heard, if you at least have a 15 Pro or Pro Max, you can run Apple Intelligence when it is released. It is a software thing. I mean, lots of stuff coming with iOS 18 that way more devices can take advantage of. If you yourself are considering upgrading, I would say now is an interesting time to do so if you have an older device and you are someone who likes taking a lot of videos and photos with your phone, because again, that's what like 80% of the coverage of this thing on the Apple event was about. Apparently there are also thinner bezels, but like on my 15 Pro Max here, the bezels are already like incredibly thin. So what are they gonna do? Shave another like 1/4 of a millimeter off of them, I guess technically, but that's not really a big draw for me. The iPhones do come in some new colors. The Pro and Pro Maxes kind of just have all neutral colors like this natural titanium here, and honestly this is probably the one I would get again anyway. It just looks so nice to me. The normal 16 and 16 Plus have some like more vibrant, pretty colors, I guess you can say. And yeah, those are neat too. But yeah, in a nutshell, if I hadn't upgraded in a while, I would have been pretty tempted to go to iPhone 16. I have definitely seen some discussion about if the Pro and Pro Max are even worth it over the normal ones this year. My only opinion on that is I would never want to go back to a 60 hertz display, which as far as I've heard, the non-Pro and Pro Maxes still have, which is, yeah, it's not good. No phone should have 60 hertz in 2024, especially from an expensive brand like Apple. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So AirPod Maxes and phone, definitely going to the no side. Series 10 watch, firmly in the maybe section, and AirPods 4 in the strong yes section. I'm super disappointed that they didn't do anything else with the AirPod Maxes. Like, I know people are very critical of these, especially their little like bra case thing, but I honestly really like them. I'm one of the few people who actually think their weight isn't an issue because it feels pretty well balanced. The headband thing, you know, distributes the weight pretty nicely. So I was hoping to see an actual update here and not just plopping USB-C and a few more colors in. But yeah, if you have any thoughts, feel free to drop in the comments down below. Leaving a like or subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed is always greatly appreciated as well. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.